What's going on, Solid Steppers? This is Miss Ward coming to you from Solid Steps to Wealth. I'm just letting everybody know that we will be doing a broadcast this morning, a live broadcast with the Service Alliance. Right now, I'm testing out this live because I've yet to really do a direct live on my channel. I keep being asked to do it, so I am definitely considering it. Of course, I will promote it so people know when I'm going to be live. But right now, this is a test. So I hope everybody's up and at it. I've been up since about 4 this morning, Central Time, because I'm in the panhandle today. So right now, we're focused on being successful. I got in my affirmations and meditations, things of that nature. Was listening to some Napoleon Hill, Master Key. It's a great series on YouTube. If you haven't listened to it, you may want to listen to it. It's about 2.5 hours long, but it's really, really good. It's the basics about structure, discipline, self discipline, self actualization, all the things you need to do to be successful. Hey, somebody's watching me. Good morning. So at the end of the day, you really want to focus on your success and you want to focus on prepping your day so you can be successful. Like this morning, I got up and I made myself some salmon and spinach, prepping for my road trips because I'm going to be on the road this weekend. I'll be headed to Savannah, Augusta, Kingsland. I'll be in Georgia. This morning, I'm actually going to be in Alabama, uh, taking care of some customers, wrapping up this coast, and moving to the other. So, with that said, what I want everybody to do is just focus on being your best self and giving yourself patience. You know, a lot of us don't come from what we call places and spaces where we have what people would consider the blueprint for success. But it's no excuse for you not to be successful. That's why I'm having this conversation this morning. You know, like I said, I've been up since 4, getting it in, and really focusing on being the best I could be. And that's all I can do. You know, the only commitment you really have is to yourself. You control your destiny by the choices you make. But I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves grace when it comes to just being patient with ourselves and loving ourselves through the process of success. You know, appliance repair business or any business that you pursue starts with you. You have to deal with the business of yourself. You have to go back and clean out those cobwebs and all those things that have challenged you throughout life, all the negative thoughts that you were raised with, and the ones that you tell yourself every day when you don't even know you're telling yourself. You know, what I try to do is I'm not perfect. Like I said, I got up at 4 this morning. I usually get up at 5, but I got up at 4 because I knew in my mind I had what they call unfinished business. Several things I wanted to get done, several things I wanted to accomplish. So, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I'm really about sitting still so that I can focus on things. You always hear me in my videos. I'm always talking about distractions, things of that nature. So you want to focus on what's important. But first, you have to understand what that is. It's very hard to figure out what's important when you have so many distractions in your life. So I'm always coaching my students, people in my circle about, you know, focus on the one thing. You know, with me, I'm focusing on the things to make sure that my profit is maximum. And the reason I do that is that if I'm not working out, even though I ain't losing no weight, but I'm okay with that. You know, as long as my stamina and endurance is there, I'll deal with the rest. I know that that's a nutritional thing. And when you know what it is, you can focus on it. But first, you have to take responsibility. I think a lot of people are struggling with the ability to take responsibility for where they are. That don't mean you sit there and beat yourself up, because a lot of us will sit here and beat ourselves to death, and then you're paralyzed. You can't move forward. And a lot of us beat ourselves up simply because that's what we were taught. You can't, you know, you get to a point, you see this right here? There's no reason for me to be blaming my mama, society, or anything for where I am and what I've accomplished or have not accomplished. I personally feel like we live in a country where we have opportunity. Yeah, we got issues. Everybody has issues. But the key is, are you going to surround yourself with people, things, and experiences that lift you to the next level? Are you going to continue to tread water and hang around people and things that don't celebrate who you are? So the key is you're going to continue to celebrate who you are and be the best you can be at all times. This is what I try to explain to people. You know, you have everything you need to be successful. There is no excuse for you not to strive and thrive in that place. But you have to make a decision. It's there's really no more excuses. I was watching this story about an immigrant and how he came here and the challenges he ran through, and now this guy's dropping 420 a year with his wife, stable family, buying property, buying opening businesses, buying businesses, and I mean he's done this in like a 7 year span. So there's really no excuse for you not to be successful. I tell people all the time, if you have a W-2 or a job, as I had for many, many years, and I tried even when I didn't like the company, I was the best damn employee because I was constantly working on myself. And if the company had anything about improving myself, any training, any tuition reimbursement, I took advantage of those things. I tell people all the time, your job is always your first investor, but you got to deal with your habits. You got to deal with your financial challenges, and things of that nature, because we can no longer rely on those excuses of what we wasn't raised with, what we weren't born with. You have to take responsibility, and I am one of the hardest ones when it comes to my coaching clients, because I'm like, look, we got to look in the mirror. Don't be giving me excuses. I'm not trying to hear it, because at the end of the day, if you want to be blessed and successful, it starts with you. So if it's from what you eat on a daily basis, what you intake mentally, spiritually, you have to take ownership. And the only reason I have any glimmer of success is because I understand that I am constantly a work in process, and that I have to continue to work on that. That means on a daily basis, I have to add and subtract the positives and the negatives, and then I have to take responsibility. If I made poor choices yesterday, or I didn't plan properly and I failed, well, whose responsibility is that? That's mine. So when you're dealing in any business, whether it be appliance repair and just a business of life, you have to take responsibility. Like me, I hate sitting down and writing and documenting things, but I know when I do that I don't have drama because I actually have some order. And that, whenever I write something down, it's a great book called Write It Down and Make It Plain. And of course, the Bible says people without a vision, they will perish. When you document something with your hand, there's something called your reticular activation system. And when you document and write goals down and have those structures in place, and they don't have to be perfect because it is a process, but at least start to write down. If you look at your schedule today of the clients that you have, because we have modern technology, we can put everything in schedule apps. I use Workies, but what I like to do is sit down and document pretty much what I'm going to do per job. That way, when I go into those jobs or those experiences, I have a pattern. I have something that's already laid in my brain. So a lot of times we think that because we've done these repairs over and over again, that it's going to consistently be the same. That is not the case. And what you want to be clear about is that you have to have a plan. If I'm going to go work on a dishwasher, I know what I need to have. I need to have my towels, buckets, uh, shop vac, whatever you choose to use. But everything you do, you got to have a process. And I think where people fail is they don't have a process. And whatever you want to do in life, you got to have a process. Like prime example, I went to a job yesterday. That particular job, there was an issue with a pressure sensor. You would automatically think because it kept draining. Once I put this Frigidaire dishwasher in diagnostic mode, not only was an issue with the pressure sensor, but it was also an issue with the circulation pump because it was leaking. Like at the end of the day, a lot of times we go into these situations and we run into something called pattern recognition. Whenever you go into pattern recognition, you're going in thinking you know the answer. And that's how life is. You don't always know the answers, but you got to be able to do the work, get your blueprint in place, and continue to work that blueprint and text it, and prove it on a daily basis. And that's just how we're built as people. If you're not willing to work on yourself and improve on a daily basis, you'll never be successful. We have YouTube, we have various things. I mean, there are great things you can put. My favorite book is Atomic Habits. Everybody knows that. James Clear, that's my guy. 2 minutes to do something, knock it out. And that's where I'm at. You know, a lot of times we struggle because we procrastinate. When you're procrastinating, how are you going to win? You can't win if you're not if you're not consistently working. And I think one of the biggest handicaps we have is we overthink stuff, we procrastinate, and it never gets done. And that's the bottom line. Stop procrastinating, start focusing on your goals, and give yourself grace, but not enough grace to where you're lazy and trifling. You got to write it down on a daily basis. Write it down at night, write it down in the morning. Say you're exhausted, knock it out first thing in the morning. That's just life. And what you are going to find is that as you document on a daily basis, as you tweak your performance personally and professionally, you will see things change and you will excel. And that's the goal. With that said, I just wanted to share a little something with y'all this morning. I got to get ready for my podcast. Make sure you come and hang out with us over at the Service Alliance Group and have an outstanding day because I'm going to get it. I suggest you do the same. I want you guys to be blessed. Have a phenomenal day, phenomenal week, and awesome weekend. Miss Ward signing off.